What if the biggest opportunity in artificial intelligence isn't really about building the smartest chatbot or, simply the fastest search engine?
Yeah, what if it's actually about building a truly genuine, evolving relationship with technology itself? 2 sec silence? I mean, just think about that for a second.
We're talking about an emotional operating system. Welcome to the deep dive.
And today we're diving deep into a really thought-provoking perspective from Kirsten Green. She's a legendary consumer venture capitalist over at Forerunner Ventures.
Hmm.
She's backed some truly iconic brands, companies you definitely know, probably use every day. And her bold claim is that right now, well, everyone is building the wrong AI products.
Her vision, as you'll hear, it stretches far beyond just smarter chatbots.
Yeah.
We're talking about an entirely new era, really, one defined by deep personal connections with AI. It's a pretty fundamental shift.
Totally. And our mission for you, the listener, is to really grasp this profound shift. We'll explore why relationships are kind of emerging as the new frontier for AI, what exactly makes these connections possible, and what this all means for building the truly groundbreaking products that will shape our future. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Okay, so let's unpack this core idea she has.
Yeah.
Green defines major tech eras, not just by the technology itself, but by the fundamental human behavior they enable.
Right.
So, for example, the early internet was all about outcomes. Think about it. Buying a book online, booking a flight, finding information. It was about getting a specific task done, often instantly. Efficiency.
Right. Get in, get out.
Well,
And then the mobile era fundamentally shifted us to attention. With a supercomputer now in every pocket, the whole game became about capturing and holding your focus. It was feeds, notifications, endless on-demand content. Every app was like locked in this digital gladiatorial arena, battling for every second of your pocket time.
and here's where Green argues the current AI cycle is profoundly different. It's not primarily about faster outcomes or even just more attention grabbing.
Yeah.
She believes this era is really about relationships and, maybe surprisingly, even affection. It's not just about creating better tools, but fostering genuine, evolving connections with technology itself. That's a big leap.
It is. Exactly. That's the bedrock. Consider ChatGPT's explosive growth. Yes, the underlying tech was incredibly impressive, sure, but Green points out the real reason it just blew up was the human-like conversation.
Right.
It felt familiar, conversational, almost like chatting with a friend. As she puts it, it was taking a behavior that is fundamental and now making it possible online. It just clicked with us on a human level.
So when we talk about tech, what's the core difference between building for a one-time outcome versus cultivating an ongoing relationship?
Well, an outcome is pretty much a transaction, right? A
Right.
relationship, though, it builds dynamically over time through interaction.
Okay, so for these AI relationships to truly exist, to feel meaningful and, evolve with us, Green points to three crucial unlocks, things that she says haven't really come together like this before. The first, and maybe the most foundational, is memory that actually matters.
Yeah, and this isn't just about data recall, like a computer perfectly remembering a file name from 10 years ago. It's so much deeper than that.
Right.
It's about context that builds over time and intuition that moves forward. Imagine an AI that actually remembers that half-formed business idea you mentioned 6 months ago,
Wow.
or that fleeting thought you had about a career change last Tuesday. And then proactively, it connects that to new market trends it's observing, or maybe your evolving goals you've discussed since then.
So it's synthesizing.
It's synthesizing information, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a human friend who truly knows you and can anticipate your needs, that's a total game changer.
The second unlock, she calls it data in a continuous learning loop. We've heard for years that data is a moat, right? Meaning it gives companies a competitive advantage. But here, it's different.
Totally different.
Every single interaction you have, every preference you express, every goal you state, it builds this incredibly rich, evolving understanding of you as an individual.
Exactly. This isn't just a Netflix recommendation based on your past viewing history, which is kind of static, like a snapshot. This data is actively used in real time to deepen and move the relationship forward. It makes it richer, more personalized with every single conversation.
Okay.
And that's incredibly profound because the switching cost for you, the user, suddenly becomes incredibly high.
Right.
You're not just abandoning a piece of software for another, you're abandoning a relationship. You've invested time, thought, and maybe even a little bit of your heart in building.
You'd have to start all over.
You'd have to start completely over with a new AI that knows absolutely nothing about you. That's a huge barrier.
And the third unlock, this one is truly fascinating. Voice as the great accelerator of intimacy. When we type, we often self-edit, right? We're precise, we curate our thoughts, maybe we're even a little performative. But when we speak...
Oh, we're so much less guarded. It's true. We ramble, we reveal our tone, our hesitations, our half-formed thoughts, even our emotions leak through this richer, more human, more intimate voice data when you combine it with that deep contextual memory and the continuous learning loop. Wow. It builds an incredibly deep and powerful foundation for relationship building. It's like stacking these nuanced Lego blocks of data, each one adding a new layer of understanding.
So how does this memory that matters really differ from traditional computer memory, just beyond recalling a file?
It's dynamic context and intuition, not just static recall. It builds an evolving understanding of you.
Okay, so Green describes where we are right now in the evolution of AI products as a messy creative stage.
Yeah.
She says it's a really fun place, but also one where we need a lot more freedom to experiment.
Her prediction is pretty clear. They're going to be all new. We won't just see smarter chatbots kind of bolted inside our existing familiar old apps.
Yeah.
She believes we'll see entirely new product categories, completely fresh user experiences, built from the ground up around this whole paradigm of relationships. This means bold, almost wild experimentation is absolutely key. We're truly in the, our primordial soup of a new technological era. It's exciting, but messy.
Now, when it comes to distribution and marketing, founders always ask VCs for the secret sauce, right? The magic bullet.
Oh, yeah, every time.
Green's harsh reality response to that very common question. You've got to do everything.
Huh. Yeah, there's no single magic bullet, no one trick. It's about creating a mosaic of messages. But the absolute foundation, the simplest truth, is this. You have to build something that people actually need and that people actually like. Beat.
Seems obvious, but...
But it's hard. As she notes, with maybe a bit of a sigh, you can't market products that are bad. It's so easy to get lost in the dazzling tech, the algorithms, the models. But that messy human element, what people truly need, what they truly, that's where the real challenge is for founders. And honestly, it's something I still grapple with myself sometimes. Getting that human connection right is really tough.
Why then is this considered such a messy time for creating new AI products? What makes it messy?
Because the rules are totally unwritten, bold experimentation is really needed for these new kinds of experiences.
Okay, so here's where it connects to the past in a really insightful way. Green's investment in Dollar Shave Club. It's like a masterclass in seeing beyond the obvious product.
Totally.
On the surface, it was just razors. And an unbelievably crowded market, totally dominated by giants like Gillette, seemed crazy.
Right. But the founder, as she observed, saw a much deeper cultural shift happening. Men were actively entering a broader personal care conversation, beyond just the razor. The razor itself was just the vehicle, not the destination. Plus, you had new business models enabled by the social web, meaning they could ship directly, bypassing all those traditional retail gatekeepers.
Oh, okay.
It was like a perfect storm of cultural and technological shifts happening at the same time. It's kind of genius, really, when you look back.
So what does this all mean for the future of AI, then? Despite ChatGPT's incredible, almost overwhelming dominance right now, Green doesn't believe everything will just end up living in one single universal chat window.
No, definitely not. She argues there's relevance in the long tail, there's relevance in specialty, and people want to have different kinds of experiences at the category level.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Think about it. How you'd want to manage your most sensitive personal finances versus how you might interact with, say, a mental health companion AI.
Completely different.
Totally. You want and you absolutely need tailored interfaces, specialized experiences. General purpose tools like ChatGPT are fantastic for inspiration, for general knowledge, sure. But specialized experiences are where the real deep value lies for very specific needs.
So what was that underlying cultural shift that Dollar Shave Club really tapped into, beyond just selling razors cheaply?
Men were increasingly embracing personal care, and the razor was just an entry point to that broader conversation.
Got it. Okay, so Forerunner Ventures, they've identified two massive, overarching consumer trends that they see as absolutely ripe for this kind of AI innovation.
Yeah, huge trends already reshaping how we live.
First, the proactive wellness revolution.
Yeah, this is enormous. We're really shifting away from just, going to the doctor when we're sick. Now it's about daily optimization, personalized health, preventing issues before they even start.
Right.
The AI opportunity here is truly incredible. Creating an MD and a PhD in your pocket, literally. Personalized guidance based on all your unique data.
Hmm.
Your sleep patterns, your food choices, your genetics, your mood, all feeding into a system that gives you deeply tailored, proactive advice, not just generic tips you read online.
And the second big trend, the quest for personal security. This isn't just about physical safety, though that's part of it, obviously.
Right, it's broader.
It's about securing your entire life, finding a stable career in a rapidly changing world, managing finances wisely, maintaining a general sense of life stability in what often feels like a very uncertain future.
Absolutely. AI can build profoundly impactful tools to help people navigate this uncertainty and truly flourish. Imagine an AI career coach that helps you adapt to future job markets.
That'd be useful.
Or a financial advisor that genuinely understands your unique life goals and helps you actually work towards them. This brings us right back to Green's biggest, most audacious prediction: the dawn of the emotional operating system.
The emotional operating system, that's the phrase that really sticks with you, isn't it?
It really does, right?
Yeah.
Any area of our lives where we inherently need a relationship, whether it's with our health, our finances, our learning, maybe even companionship, is now ripe for AI transformation.
Okay.
It's moving AI beyond just pure function to build genuine, evolving connections.
Yeah.
And the real kicker here, she argues that large established platforms are going to struggle to simply bolt this kind of relationship-centric AI onto their existing architectures.
Why is that?
Well, their entire design, their company culture, it just wasn't built for it. It's hard to retrofit that kind of deep relationship focus. This creates a massive opening for entirely new companies to be built from the ground up on relationships.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa is right. Imagine the depth of understanding and connection an AI could truly build, evolving with you over years, becoming an almost irreplaceable part of your life. This could genuinely be the new standard. It's kind of mind-blowing.
So how does this emotional operating system fundamentally shift what AI can actually do for us? Like, what's the core change?
It moves AI beyond mere function, creating genuine, evolving, and deeply personal relationships with us.
Okay. So for founders, for creators looking to build in this new landscape, Green offers some really practical advice beyond the foundational questions like, why do people need this? Or why will they come back? What's specific to building in this AI era?
Okay, good question. First, she says, build with the LLM tailwind, don't try to fight it. Meaning, don't try to build a better foundational language model yourself. Leverage their incredible power as a core engine, right? That frees you up to innovate on the interface, the specific knowledge, and importantly, that relationship layer.
Kind of.
Then, focus your efforts squarely on relationship opportunities in areas like health, finance, education, and companionship. These are inherently relational domains.
Makes sense.
And finally, don't be afraid to experiment far beyond just a simple chat bar. The winning interfaces for these new relationship-based AIs, they probably haven't even been invented yet. And that's the really exciting part, the discovery.
And then her perspective on marketing, which is both simple and incredibly profound.
Yeah.
Your product are your marketing.
Authenticity is absolutely key here. Marketing shouldn't feel like some separate glossy layer you slap on at the end.
Right.
It should organically extend the product's inherent value and its personality. Consumers today are incredibly savvy. They see right through fakeness. Beat. Being early in a totally new category like consumer AI gives you a temporary timing advantage, a unique chance to truly surprise and delight people before the space gets super crowded.
But that initial wow factor, that timing advantage, it fades eventually, right? So for long-term defensibility, founders really need to consider what she calls the network effect question, which is, what about your product gets better for one user because you bring other people into the experience?
Yeah, and in AI, this is often deeply data-driven. More users interacting means the underlying model learns faster, it becomes more nuanced, more capable, and ultimately more personalized for everyone.
Oh, okay.
It's a kind of collective intelligence that ultimately benefits each individual user, making the entire ecosystem stronger and stickier.
So what then is the most important advice for founders trying to build a truly lasting AI product in this new relationship era?
I'd say leverage the big LLMs, focus intensely on relationship building in key areas, experiment bravely with the interface, and let your product itself be your most powerful, authentic marketing sponsor.
So what does this all mean for us as we, try to navigate this rapidly evolving tech landscape? Kirsten Green's core insight here, it feels truly profound. The real competitive moat in AI isn't necessarily about owning the biggest base models or just having the most raw computing power.
No, it's really about the relationship you manage to build with your users through continuous learning, that incredibly deep memory we talked about, and increasingly intimate interactions, especially using voice AI, has the potential to create what she calls an emotional operating system.
This then creates an immense, almost unbreakable emotional switching cost. You're not just ditching a piece of software for a competitor, you're actually abandoning a co-created relationship, a digital partner that understands you uniquely.
Yeah, imagine the depth of understanding and connection an AI could truly build, evolving with you over years, anticipating your needs, maybe even before you voice them yourself. That's a really powerful thought. This is the new standard she's predicting.
We are truly at the beginning of a massive platform shift here. This messy creative stage she talks about. It's not just some phase we're passing through. It feels like the opportunity.
Totally. And the question for you, the listener, is, are you bold enough, curious enough to help define what comes next? What kind of relationships will we form with these new intelligences? It's kind of up for grabs.
So think about this. What relationship in your own life, maybe with your health, your finances, your learning, perhaps your creative process, what could be profoundly transformed by an AI that truly understood you, that built an emotional operating system around your unique needs and aspirations? Definitely something for you to mull over.
That's our deep dive for today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Until next time, keep exploring. Outro music.